Previously on The Final Pitch.
Today, I'm going to talk to you about an idea for a startup.
I don't think it's something that we can dominate.
Yeah, I'm really struggling to see how you're different. At this point, we'll pass.
My co-founders and I are building the Etsy of Southeast Asia.
I encourage you to continue, but at the same time, if it's not going to work out, please give us a call.
I'd really want you to succeed because a lot have tried and they have not succeeded in helping the creative move to the digital economy.
This week, a familiar face holds a mentoring session with the entrepreneurs. And day 3 of the pitches continues. My name is John Aguilar, and I'm a serial entrepreneur based in Manila, Philippines. I've gathered a formidable cast of business and industry leaders looking to fund and support the country's post-pandemic solutions. Lee Hao Zhuang, President and CEO of leading Pan-Asian insurer, FWD Philippines. Vince Yaman, Managing Director of Globe Telecom's corporate venture builder, 917 Ventures. Joel Santos, President and co-founder of the School for Entrepreneurs and Innovators, Thames International Business School. And John Yunuschap, President and CEO of the FinTech Venture Studio and Venture Fund of the Union Bank of the Philippines, UBX. Our goal is to find and support the new breed of heroes taking on the challenges of a post-pandemic future. Many will try, but only a few will make it to the final pitch. Mentorship has always been a key component in the journey of the Final Pitch contestants. Prior to the start of this season's round of pitches, the entrepreneurs were introduced to one of the show's successful alumnus, Season 4 investee and the CEO and co-founder of Podcast Network Asia, Ronster Baityong.
Hello everyone, welcome to our mentorship here today on the Final Pitch Heroes edition. I hope that this session allows you to be able to get an insight into what it takes to be successful on the show. I'd like to introduce you to none other than the Ronster, Ron Baityong, joining us today.
Thank you so much. I have a fake crowd because I am a podcaster and I know how to work this magic. And again, thank you so much, John. As a founder of Podcast Network Asia, we got our head start here. And we wouldn't have gotten at least through the pandemic without the Final Pitch's help. We were fortunate enough to join as Podcast Network. They didn't even have Asia yet. We were fortunate enough to be invested on, but not one, but 2 investor judges. That's what got us through the pandemic. Because without that funding, we wouldn't have made it. So again, I'm Ron. I'm the founder of Podcast Network Asia and also the founder of Chatbot BH and the #1 business podcast in the Philippines called Hustle Share. What I'm going to tell you today is how I scammed the game. Because you can scam this, just kidding. There's a playbook of how to persuade and how to increase your chances in nailing, apparently the only one, your final and only pitch. So we use, and this is my playbook also in whatever I pitch, it's the holy triangle of Aristotle. It's Tito Aris, Tito Aris, and his last name is Total. There's 3 components: ethos, pathos, and logos. So ethos, the very first thing that you always go through when you do a pitch, investors would have the big question in your mind saying, who the hell is this guy? What does that mean? They'll ask you, why you? Ethos is all about credibility. You need to establish in that pitch, why you? So how do you nail that? You always put your credentials up front. When I did this in the final pitch, the very first thing I said was, hi, I'm Ronster and I'm a podcaster. And I flexed my credibility because the first 1 to 2 minutes is the most important section of that presentation because you need to be able to establish that. If you don't establish that, it will be an uphill climb. And you have to position yourself as someone worth listening because you're going to tell a story and they cannot miss that story. Pathos means one thing. In the best pitches, even in the final pitch, always appeal to the audience's emotion. People always love good stories. And lastly, the most important thing, logos. Logos means the quality of your argument and the reasoning and evidence. You gotta back it up. Because regardless of how good you deliver and what story you tell, if you don't have numbers to back up your claims, you are not gonna sound credible. So do your research well. The best thing to always show is prior traction. Always make sure that when you walk into that stage, you remember Tito Aris. Tito Aris Total. Now again, there's a lot of ways how to do that. In your story, you need to own it and why you are the guy key to solve that problem. Now, what's the presentation deck like? Now, at the end of the day, this is the most important slides. Usually it's around 7 to 10 slides, but the most important thing there, obviously, is the problem. What is the problem that you're trying to solve? Your intro can be your opportunity to establish your ethos and your pathos. The story is the most important thing. Obviously, the solution, the market size and opportunity, the product, traction if you have. If you don't, then you gotta, again, have a really strong ethos then. The most important thing also is teams. People invest in teams. And of course, competition, financials, investment and use of funds. You can GMG it. You know what GMG is. Google mo, girl. Again, so from now until when you're gonna pitch, I'm sorry if you're gonna run out of voice. You need to practice. This is your shot. Not everybody gets this opportunity. But even if you get this opportunity, you need to nail it in the head. Because this is the most important part. The final pitch is not the end game. Even if you get a handshake, even if you get a commitment, it's not the end game yet. This is not Avengers yet. Because I've seen deals happen where they took forever to even get something done, and in the end, they just bungled the opportunity. You know, you work so hard to get here. Don't waste it. If you ever succeed, it's the reason why I'm here. It's because my mentor told me that if I ever come to a point where I can be successful, I have to pay it forward. So next seasons, if you are that guy, don't make it stop with you. You have to pay it forward. Again, thank you very much, guys. And I hope you learned something. Peace.
You're talking about all the must-to-do when pitching. Can you share some of your experiences on what not to do?
The show is, again, provides an equal opportunity for everybody that joins it. The outcome is done by the contestant at the end of the day, right? So the negatives I see is where people usually drop the ball, like what I said, is that they're not coming in prepared. They're fixated with the value of the money, and then they didn't know they get sharked out. You have to come into the game ready to shoot your best shot, and also dribble after you shoot your best shot after, when the cameras are off.
Thanks.
If you have like this personal story that connects to what you're doing, should it be like included in the 10-minute pitch?
If you can do it within the first minute or first 30 seconds, a very short version of the story. Again, ethos and pathos. Why you and what's your story? Remember, guys, everybody's gonna come in with their own version of why it's them.
All right. Thank you.
Cool.
Ron, sir, thank you for joining us. I cannot say in words how proud we are of you and all that you've achieved. Your success is our success, and we hope that you reach even greater heights with your expansion across Southeast Asia. We thank you for paying it forward today with our entrepreneurs, and it's always a pleasure having you on the show.
My pleasure. Final pitch minute. Whenever you need me, I'm one podcast away. Thank you so much.
Up next,
In 2020, a lot of things changed in the tourism space. In Asia Pacific alone, there is a massive economic dip.
You mentioned COVID.
Yeah.
It's not clear to me. I'm just having trouble connecting the dots between Tripper and COVID. What's the connection?
continuing day 3 of the pitches is a software developer who aims to provide a collaborative social trip planning platform for travelers. Hey RJ.
Hi, John.
So RJ, you're a tech geek.
Yeah.
You're a software developer, but you're here today because of an experience in the travel industry. So you've had a lot of different businesses, but travel is something that you're passionate about.
Tripper, it is a trip planning startup. We're trying to help the travelers in the Asia Pacific region create and organize trips. So basically, it's something similar to what is out there already in the market, but we're focused on the collaboration side, wherein a lot of trippers or a lot of travelers can do one itinerary together.
Good luck, RJ.
Thank you, John. Good day, everyone. My name is RJ, and I'm here to turn your dream vacation into reality through Tripper. People always love to travel, and it comes with a responsibility to plan ahead for their trips. However, travelers find it unpleasant planning for their trips, most especially with the enforced travel restrictions right now. It usually takes up to 3 months on average to create one itinerary by navigating back and forth between different touchpoints. Trip planning is and will be a long and elaborate process. So we created Tripper. It is a social trip planning startup that helps travelers in the Asia-Pacific region reduce time in creating and organizing trips. We are currently building a community of travelers who are itching to explore different places. The social media side will be used as a means for getting inspiration from other travelers, and the itinerary builder will be offered as a free service for our users so that they can create their trip plans. So right now, we are looking in the Philippine market. There are around 1,800 DOT accredited accommodations. That is representing about 290,000 rooms. Most of these tourism businesses are taking at least or spending at least 12% of their marketing expenses. And we would like to get at least 5% of that marketing expense so that we will be able to achieve this certain revenue. In 2019, there is a $385 billion market opportunity of tourism-related activities. And a slice of that pie is from the Philippines. However, in 2020, a lot of things changed in the tourism space. In Asia Pacific alone, it went down to 83%. There is a massive economic dip of tourism-related activities for Asia Pacific. We see this as an opportunity to ride on that wave of the upcoming trend of travel post-pandemic. We'll also partner or collaborate with government entities such as DOT, work with tourism-related businesses so that we can provide tourism-related insights for them. We are positioning it as a collaborative and a convenient platform that will be used by travelers in creating their trip plans. They can use our platform for free compared to other platforms. So right now, we are asking for collaborators, advisors, mentors, and partners who will journey with us in creating Tripper. Thank you for listening, and we hope to have safer travels with you, and we'd like to know where you want to go. Thank you.
You mentioned COVID.
Yeah.
You showed us a lot of very dramatic stats about the dip in travel. And I felt like it was an impetus for continuing with this project while you're here today, but it's not clear to me. I'm just having trouble connecting the dots between Tripper and COVID. I understand that it's had a terrible toll on the travel industry, but what's the connection?
With regards to that one, since we are planning to create a B2B and a B2C side market, first for the users, they can plan the trips. And with that kind of planning, we can gather a lot of marketing insights like where they want to go, what activities they want to do in certain areas. With those information, we want to help the tourism industry bounce back.
So your platform is going to drive demand for a sector of the economy that's hard hit.
Yeah.
I think your big proposition that I see here is centered on planning, right? How is planning done? When you say collaborative, is it just a chat for people to say, let's plan out a 5-day itinerary? Or what do you mean by that, collaborative planning?
In terms of that one, let me give you an example. Like first, before we collaborated using Google Sheets to create an itinerary, you can edit the document in real time. So the collaboration part is going to happen something like that for Tripper. Once an itinerary has been created by one of the trip leaders, then he or she can invite their friends or their travel buddies to work on that itinerary together.
So you're actually building a work collaboration tool rather than a trip planning, right? Would that be correct?
In a sense, yeah. It's a collaboration tool, but yeah, we wanted to focus on the travel space for this.
I know the needs of the travel industry because we trained 750 resorts, Thames and the DOT on how to open safely. So How fast can you and your partner make the itinerary planner?
We already have the itinerary planner since 2016, but we were just using it within our circle.
Okay, so what can your itinerary planner do?
As of right now, our itinerary planner you can collaboratively create or select destinations and then plan your day-to-day activities.
Okay, so I'll make you an offer. If you can finish that and show that to me, and given that I know what the resorts need now, using your itinerary planner as a safe itinerary planning device, I could get you the resorts who will work with you right away. As long as we can find a way to convert your itinerary planner focus on safe travel itinerary planning, because that is what both the consumer and the resort need to address now. So if you can do that and show it to me, and if we can make it work very quickly, then I could get you the resorts right away. And we'll go to DOT together because we're their training partner.
Nice.
We're looking for a solution like that immediately.
We can be up for the challenge.
Maybe integrate the booking of antigen testing and PCR testing
Exactly.
with clinics into the app. I think that's kind of along the lines of what you're getting at. Yeah.
That's part of the itinerary, just even
That's
getting
part of the
testing,
itinerary,
that's part of the
exactly.
itinerary already.
Yeah, that can be done. Thank you, Sir Joel, for the offer. And we will be up for the challenge to work on that one.
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Thank
You'll
you.
help,
Thank you.
and you'll really help a lot of the travelers since it's part of your vision and
Yeah,
mission, right?
correct.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I was looking at the 917 Ventures and also the UBX one. I didn't know that Sir Joel had this connection in terms of the resorts that he mentioned. Okay naman, parang na-happy ako. I'm okay na he asked us to do this challenge and then we can collaborate together.
That deal that you provided him is like once in a lifetime. Because for a startup, it's very difficult to tap 700 in one go, right?
Yeah.
You're basically giving access to 700 resorts in one go. So if you can make it work, it's gonna be big.
And focus. So you've given them a big chunk of customer base and the luxury of focus.
And I hope it could help the kids finally have a safe summer, because we need that.
Up next. So investors, for our next pitch, unfortunately she couldn't be here today because she is pitching all the way from UAE.
I know it's digital these days. I just really feel like you got to be here in the Philippines to make this happen.
How fast can you deploy this? Because once school starts in August, you can't make your massive change because they don't need you.
Next to pitch is an entrepreneur who aims to provide an online do-it-yourself property management platform, creating a collaborative community for multiple stakeholders. So investors, for our next pitch, unfortunately she couldn't be here today because she is pitching all the way from UAE. So we have here Zaira.
Good day, investors. Pitching live from Dubai, I'm Zaira Marie Veronque, the Business Development and Operations Officer of iBoardliving.com. Don't just rent a room, find a home. We are here seeking for 14 million pesos in exchange of 8.29% equity that will be used for our 2 years of execution. iBoard is actually our solution for our frustration built for 14 years since I left my countryside hometown. Coming to the city from the rural town, we couldn't find a boarding house. When we did, we have to bear with housemates who are actually drinking and having fun in the other room while we are working with our finals. Or a landlady who's going to wake you up early in the morning just to ask you for the payment. As a renting student or professional, this is the last thing we all want to face. We all deserve to live with integrity. We all just want to go home to a place we temporarily call our own. We created iBoard. We aim to provide an online do-it-yourself rental management platforms, creating a collaborative community for tenants, property owners, managers, and service providers to give tenants the experience of not just renting a room, but let them feel at home. What makes us different with the existing platforms? We support the discovery of tenants, yes, but our main focus is on tenant retention through business automation, collaboration, and liberation. We have actually 3 product mixes. To address the tenants' pain points, we have iRent, the tenant management platform, allowing them to find their desired roommate, organize everything within themselves, pay fees online, and send requests to landlords. We have the iManage as the property management platform that allows landlords to become their own online property manager, automating their roles 24/7, regardless of time zone, like what I do have now. And to support the errands of the property managers, we have the iServe as our service management platform. What makes us different is that we house all the three main services required, and we are a marketplace, so it's easy for you to access us. It's like a one-stop shop that supports our competitive advantage, where we encourage remote management, we provide you data analytics, free communication, so you can message your landlord 24/7 without disturbing them. We will be providing insurance as part of the business protection, which is not a practice in the Philippines when it comes to renter, 24/7 customer support, and facilities management. We aim to create a credibility score, or the credit scoring, so that tenants and landlords will be able to use later on for bank requirements or any other requirements that requires verification. Business model, we offer three types: the freemium, the commission-based, and the subscription-based. This is our plans. We have the basic, the pro, the premium, and this actually allows you to manage your business the way you want it. So with that, shukriya, damo na salamat, thank you.
Actually, I want to applaud you. You are really addressing a real need. I just want to say that the opportunity is actually now, because there's a reset in the whole industry where all the dorms are closed, right? So my question is, how fast can you deploy this? Because once school starts in August, you can't make your massive change because they don't need you. They don't need you, as much.
The deployment stage, if we will be able to have the required manpower, the fund to finance the required manpower to finish the MVP the soonest, then you can give us within a 1 month frame from the time that we will be able to buy all the necessary softwares to deploy our first MVP.
Zaira, what are you doing in the UAE, if you don't mind me asking?
Currently holding 3 positions. Yeah, I'm a financial planner by a side hustle. I'm also Chief Marketing Officer of international trading company. And my day job, which I'm about to let go already, is as a compliance officer on a government trade services in a certification body.
It sounds like you got like 3, 4, or 5 things going at once. If you were focused 100% on this, I think I'd be a lot more interested in considering investing in something like this. But right now, it would be a little premature for me. I know it's digital these days. I just really feel like you got to be here in the Philippines to make this happen, at least at the beginning.
Yeah, that's understood, sir. And thank you for that.
I agree with John Jay. As a startup entrepreneur, Zaira, you should only focus on doing one thing. And I think what you should be doing and consider doing is just focus on that OFW market, right? OFWs, they invest in a lot of properties back home, but they can no longer manage it, and they still want to monetize that one. I think that's a good start, and then from there on, just scale right after.
We know how to do the traditional way, but startup is way new thing to me. So yeah, mentorship is really one thing to help me focus on what I need to do to make this scale up.
Zaira, OFW is a large market for us. It's something that we want to penetrate, right? We have an FWD affiliate app and a platform. We want to reach out to OFWs everywhere. We want to cover their families back home. Right? You can help us reach that, and you can monetize that knowledge. And if you do come back to Philippines, I definitely would want you to be one of our financial advisors. That's guaranteed.
Thank you.
I see 2 gaps with you. One is finance, just even the valuation. It's a good thing none of the other judges commented. But so we have a course for finance for startups. I'll get you into that.
My sister is actually our finance, but sadly she just came later when we started doing the financials.
No, but you are the CEO.
I vouch her excellence in that field.
One thing about the CEO is that you cannot delegate everything to the other people, and that's why if you're going to be the CEO, I think the finance for startups will be good for you, so that you're not fully dependent on somebody else, and you at least understand how to manage finance. So that's one offer I'd give you, finance for startups. The other one is that since I think you have a general idea of the business, but we just have to fine tune it, so I could help you with another course on business model innovation. So,
Thank you so much.
and the thing is, because we have both the face-to-face and the digital school, even while you're there, and even if you don't come back, you can take the course online.
At least I'm reassured that there's an opportunity waiting in the Philippines, even if I go home earlier than the schedule. So, sorry, I'm just. I'm sorry. To solve this problem, it's so personal to me because this is a dream. Be it I'll be able to be funded by here or not, but I'm really hoping for. But if not, then the opportunity that you have given me with the mentorship, it's going to have an extra mile on making this a reality. Sorry.
Zaira, you have purpose. We always talk about passion. We've talked about some technical things like financial acumen and whatnot, but really much more fundamental than all of that is actually the sense of purpose. And just like your sense of hustle that was coming out, your sense of purpose comes out loud and clear. I encourage you, take up Joel. When you are back in the Philippines and ready to focus on one thing, I think you've got 3 other people here who want to talk to you.
Thank you so much. I'd be happy to come back to the 3 of you guys, definitely. I already recorded that, so whenever I go back to the Philippines, I'm gonna go back to you and you told about this, so I'm going to ask this from you. You owe me this one.
So Zaira, I wish you all the very best in your real estate business. I can't guide you on that, but on the other hand, come back and join the FWD family already.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Zaira. So when it comes to your startup, go, continue the hustle, right? Try to make it work. If it doesn't work out, just like what the 3 other gentlemen mentioned here, go give us a call in 917 Ventures. We have a big ecosystem. I'm 100% sure there are opportunities for you out there.
Give me a call straight away already. Don't wait till you don't work out.
Zaira,
Okay?
don't just ignore these 2 guys. There's only one person that you need to contact when you're back. I'm joking. I'm joking. I think all 3 of us, like I said before, would love to talk to you when you're ready to focus on one thing here in the Philippines. Yeah.
Maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Your observation on focusing very specifically on the productivity of their properties, of the OFWs, that's great observation. But if she had that laser focus on just that one thing, with that kind of sense of purpose and passion, that would be something.
Yeah, and Joel will help her with that one.
Good, so I'm hoping I could fast track her training and knowledge so that she can go present to you guys right away.
Next time on The Final Pitch, it's the season finale for The Final Pitch Heroes Edition.
What we come up now is Yo Money. Let's make it happen, guys.
So you're looking for more money for Yo Money.
More money for Yo Money, yes.
What's your grand plan to compete with GCash? I'm not discouraging you, but it's a very tough market.
We're here to win. Seek your partnership and an investment of $600,000.
I'd like to make you an offer. I'd like to offer you